Learning basic CSS by building a cafe menu series. Welcome to Free Code Camp Challenges. Today we're gonna start with step for 31st to 40th. Please consider subscribe to the channel, ring the bell notification in order to be notified. So we're gonna start with the video. Step 31. Start building the existing cafe price pair. Add the following cafe and prices using article elements with two nested P elements inside each, as before. The first element, text, should contain the cafe flavor, and the second P element, text, should contain the price. Okay, so now they give you the example for caramel and macchiato. Okay, so for the pumpkin spice and hazelnut and mocha. So now what we're gonna do, we can go ahead and create another article element. So the article element will contain two nested elements. So inside of the article element, so you have two nested 2p element. Okay, and another p element. Okay, so here what we can do, I can select this as I'm gonna use multiple of it. So Ctrl C to save it. So for the first one, it's caramel macchiato 3.75. So I'm gonna write it macchiato. Okay, so the second one will be 3.75. okay, let me verify it. Macchiato is the same. So now here I can just go Ctrl V to paste it and put the second one, which is the pumpkin spice. Okay, pumpkin spice. Spine 350. So the pumpkin pie, so we're gonna put the 350 here, and here I can do another one and do the same. So hazelnut 400. So HAR. Okay. And this one is the third one, so mocha 350. So what we're gonna do the same again, Control V to paste it, or Command V if you're on Mac. So mocha, the first P and the second P will be 450. Okay, so now when we look at the result, it go out this way. So now we're gonna check it. Okay, it says your power combined. Congratulations. Okay, it's good. So now before going to the step 32, let's go to our folder where we have the index.html for the cafe menu. When we go there, now we can say the same thing again as we did before. article NP. For the first one is the caramel, and I forget about it. This is the caramel macchiato 370. Okay, so for mac, okay, and for 3775, and here I can have another one, which is the second one, which is gonna be for pumpkin spice 350. Okay, hazelnut for 00. So for the hazelnut, okay, yes, the last one is mocha. Okay, 450. Okay, good. So I can control S to save it. So now if I right click here and say open with live server. So now we're gonna see it on the web page, on the browser. Okay, good. Let's go on. Okay, let's go on with step 32. Step 32. The flavor and price are currently stacked on top of each other and centered with their respective P elements. It would be nice if the flavor was on the left and the price was on the right. Okay, add a class name flavor to the fresh vanilla P element. So in the fresh vanilla P element here, so I'm gonna add a class. Okay, so the class gonna be flavor. Okay, good. Check it, it's good. Step 33. Step 33, using your new flavor class as a selector, set the text align properties value to left. Okay, so I go to the CSS file now and I gonna select the class. So I put that flavor and the class here. I'm gonna put text align. Okay, to be left. Okay, so now the text align vanilla will be on the left side. Okay, here I put. Okay, so now it's good. Let's go to the HTML file now. So now we're gonna open the CSS file. Okay, the CSS file we have is this. Okay, back to the HTML. Inside of the first vanilla p element here, I'm gonna add a class. Okay, with flavor. Okay, so now once I do that and I save it, I go to the HTML file. Here I can select this class element, select this class flavor. Okay, I'm gonna give it the text align left. Okay, so for the left side. Okay, Control S to save it. So now if I go back to the browser, so I see the vanilla is here now. Okay, good. Let's go back and go on. Step 34. Next, you want to align the price to the right. Add a class name price to your p element that has 3.00 as its text. So here I'm gonna add the class. Okay, the class price. That's the class price, and now I'm gonna click it. Okay, now it's good. Step 35. Now align the text, okay, to the right for the element with the price class. So now in the CSS file here I'm gonna put the class price, which is price, and now I put the same thing, text align to the right. Okay, now when I check it, now it's good. Okay, before step 36, so we can go back to the HTML index.html and say here I'm gonna put the class. Okay, I'm gonna put the class price. Okay, so when I save it, I can go to the CSS and align it to the right. The price, I'm gonna align it to the right. Text align. Okay, so I can take the right. Okay, good. Now when you go to the browser, so I can see here. Okay, now they are not aligned, they are not on the same line, so we're gonna fix it. Step 36. That is kind of what you want, but now it would be nice if the flavor and price were on the same line. P elements are block level element, so they take up the entire width, okay, of their parent element. To get them on the same line, you need to apply some styling to the P element so they behave more like inline element To do that, start by adding a class attribute with the value item to the first article element under the coffee heading. So under the coffee heading here, so I'm gonna add a class. Okay, the name of this class is gonna be the item. Okay, good. So now it's good. Don't check it. Good. Okay, step 37. The P elements are nested in the article element with the class attribute of item. You can style all P element nested anywhere in elements with the class name item like this. Okay, so I can say item P to style it. Using the above selector, add a display property with value inline block, so the P element behave more like inline elements. So here I'm gonna put item.p. Okay, so the item P, so gonna give me the display. Okay, the display is inline block, inline dash block. Okay, okay, now you see they become like inline element instead of each one in each part. Good. Okay, now before the step 38, let's go to the HTML here, and here we're gonna add the class. Here is gonna be the class item. Okay, the class item. Okay, so now when I go to the CSS, I'm gonna type the class item, so I take it with the P element, and there what I can do, I can say display okay, so I display inline block. Okay, I display it inline block. Okay, when we go and see on the browser, so now they are the same as it is here. Okay, step 38, that's closer, but the price didn't stay over the right. This is because inline block element only take up the width of their container. To spread them out, add the width property to the flavor and price class selector that have the value of 50% each. Okay, now to do that, I supposed to add the width and favor and price, so they both gonna be 50% of their container. Okay, 50% of their parent element. Okay, okay, so the other one is gonna be the price 50% as well, so the width is 50%. 50% each. So now if I do that, flavor and plus. They say add width property to flavor and price class selector that have the value of 50% each. Okay, so I check it, it's good. Okay, well, that did not work. Styling the P element as inline block and placing them on separate line, and the code create an extra space to the right of the first P, causing the second one to shift to the next line. White space characters can cause this issue as well. So one way to fix this is to make each P element width a little less than 50%. Change the width value 49% for each of each class to see what happened. Okay, instead of 50% right here, so I'm gonna put 49% here, and here 49%. Okay, now it's working. Good. Now the 40th, that's work, but there is still a little space on the right of the price. Okay, you should keep trying various percentages for the width. Instead, use the backspace key on your keyboard to move the P element with the class price next to the P element with the class favor, so that they are on the same line in the editor. Make sure there is no space between the two elements. So they say you can move it this way in order to move it. Okay, so when I check it, it's good. Now let's go to the index.html. Right here on the style.css, I'm gonna put the width, okay, which is gonna be the width, which is gonna be 49%. Okay, the percentage, and I go there. So the width is gonna be 49% as well. Okay. So now when I go ahead and see the browser, now it's still this way, and if I go back to the HTML, index.html, so put it this way. Let me see what happened. So okay, it's good. Okay, good. Now I have the space, but it's still working even if it's this way in VS Code. So in VS Code is not really a problem. It's not really a problem in VS Code, so it still works. no problem. So now we stop it here. Please consider subscribe to the channel, ring the bell notification. So on the next video we're gonna start with step 41. Okay, thank you for watching.